Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Givaradhari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Givaradhari Yashoda Nandana Braja Janaranjana Yashoda Nandana Braja Janaranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Jaya Gauranitai 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 Jaya Gauranitai Nitai Gauranitai Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Gaur Premanande Jayam Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parirajikara Stotra Satasimaz Divine Grace Abhay Charanar Vinde Sri Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jayam Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parirajikara Stotra Satasimaz Divine Grace Bhaktivedanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada Ki Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai Gaur Premanande All glories assembled devotees All glories assembled devotees all glories Sri Guru and Gauranga, all glories to Srila Prabhupada ki. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudirahe Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavate Uttama Bhaktir Bhavati Naistaki Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nandagopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha Hare Krishna everyone. Thank you for coming this morning Bhagavatam class. We are reading from 10th canto, chapter 84, text 18. Athapi kale svajanam bhujangupate bivarsi sattvam kahila niragasya svalila veda patham sanatanam Varnashrama Atma Purusha Prabho Bhavan. भवान् अथापि काले स्वजनां भुजाकुप्ते बिभर्षि सत्वं कैलानिग्रहयश्च स्वलीलया वेदापथं सनातनम् वर्णाश्रमात्मा पुरुषा प्रभो भवान् अथापि काले स्वजनां विगुपत्ये बिभर्षि सत्वं कैलानिग्रहस्य च स्वलीलया वेदापतिनां सनातनम् वर्णाश्रमात्मा पुरुषः परो भवान्. Please chant. अथापि काले स्वजना विभूषते विभाषि सत्वं विजयनाय प्रवेशित स्वलीलया वेदापतनं सनातनम् वर्णाश्रमात्मा पुरुषा परो भवान्. अथापि काले स्वजना विमुक्तये विवर्षि सत्वं खलनिग्रहाय च स्वलीलया वेदपथं सनातनम् वर्णाश्रम पुरुषा परो भवान्. Okay, what were meaning? Athapi, nonetheless, kale, at the correct time, swajana, of your devotees, abhiguptahe, for the protection, bibharsihi, you assume, Sattvam, the mode of goodness, Kalam, of the wicked, Nigrahaya, for the punishment, Cha, and Swa, your, Lilaya, by the pastime, Vedapatham, the path of the Vedas, Sanatanam, eternal, Varnashrama, of the divine system of occupational and spiritual divisions of society. Atma, the soul. Purushaham, the personality of Godhead. Paraham, supreme. Bhavan, your good self. Translation and purport by disciples of His Divine Grace. A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Nonetheless, at the suitable times, you assume the pure mode of goodness to protect your devotees and punish the wicked. Thus, you, the soul of the Varnashrama social order, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, maintain the eternal path of the Vedas by enjoying your pleasure pastimes. Purport: this verse is described the Lord's enlightening the people in general, Jana Sangraha, and his imitation of worldly behavior because the personality of Godhead remained always perfect. The body he manifests when he comes to this world is not touched by the material goodness. Rather, it is a manifestation of the pure goodness known as Vishuddha Sattva, the same spiritual substance that constitutes his original form. Text 19. The Vedas are your spotless heart, and through them one can perceive by means of austerity, study, and self control the manifest of the unmanifest and the pure existence of transcendental to both. Purport Avyaktaha, the manifest, that consists of visible things of this world, and Avyakta, which consists of subtle, underlining the causes of cosmic creation. The Vedas point towards the transcendental realm of Brahman, which lies beyond all material cause and effect. Text 20. Therefore, O Supreme Brahman, you honor the members of the Brahminical community, for they are perfect agents by which one can realize you through the evidence of the Vedas. For that very reason, you are the foremost worshipper of the Brahmanas. Text 21. Today, our birth, education, austerity, and vision have all become perfect because we have been able to associate with you. The goal of all saintly persons, indeed, you yourself, are ultimate supreme blessings. Purport. The sages are contrast their respect for the Lord with his reciprocal worship of them. Lord Krishna honors Brahmanas as a means of instructing less intelligent men, whereas he is the fact absolutely independent. The Brahmanas who worship him, on the other hand, benefit themselves more than they can imagine. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Gnananjana Shalakaya Chakshorulmitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadakam Namavom Vishnupadaya Krishna Prashtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pastyat Deshatarine Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sivasati Gauravakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Panchakalpatarubhascha kripa sindhubheva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. So, I think it's already late for the class today. So we will just quickly cover a few points which are very important in our day-to-day life. And also here we should try to understand the point which Lord Krishna is showing for all of us, how to respect Brahmanas, how to respect the Vaishnavas, and how to respect the devotees. In reciprocation to that, this chapter is basically meeting a reunion of all the Lord Krishna's devotees, family members, and the great saintly persons. So, coming to this context, this verse is especially sages are glorifying Lord Krishna. When the sages are glorifying Lord Krishna, here, in the specifically, they are saying that your birth is transcendental and you show the entire world how to maintain oneself to going towards eternal path of religion, eternal path of Veda, in eternal path where soul ultimate goal is back to Godhead. And in that context, sages are glorifying Lord Krishna as you know he they are not glorifying just because they're being glorified by Lord Krishna. Sometimes we see that in our day-to-day transactions, day-to-day dealings, we just glorify a devotee for sake of glorifying, and he will also glorify you for sake of glorifying. Oh, you are such a nice person. Oh, you do very nice service. Of course, there should be a glorification, but at the same time, Krishna should be center. And here it is not. Here it is. They are not just glorifying for namesake. The sages being glorified and they've been worshipped by Lord Krishna. Because as soon as the sages come in that Kurukshetra, all the people, including Lord Krishna, Balarama, Vasudeva, everybody stood up and they offer their respect obeisances and they offer suitable seat, suitable asan for the sages, and their lotus feet is being washed by all the great kings. And after that, Lord Krishna is glorifying them. It is not just you go to the pilgrimage and take bath and just do for fun and come back. Yasyatma buddhi punapeti dhatuke. Now that's verse we have already discussed 2 days ago. So similarly, they are being glorified, and at the same time, in the reciprocation to the glorification of Lord Krishna, these sages are glorifying Lord Krishna. Okay. So this verse is describes Lord's enlightening people in general. Basically, in this material world, there is a system which is Varnashrama system, where eventually one can make a progress towards his spiritual journey. For every part of our life, we need to have systematic and organizing our life. For example, if a student wants to become a doctor or engineer or a lawyer or any professional IT, he has to study systematically, going to the school, college, and doing these things he can achieve desired goal, which is whatever he wants to be, like he wants to be a doctor or education or a lawyer or an engineer. Similarly, if a soul wants to go back to home, back to Godhead, this Varnashrama system is very, very essential, which is ashrama like brahmachari, grihastha, vanaprastha, and sannyasi. And also, this system is created by Lord. It is not manifested by any human being. So this is being glorified. See, Lord is glorified not just words, which very very attractive. Lord is glorified by His activities. If you glorify a person with his activities, then it is becomes more meaningful rather than superficially we are glorifying. So by this, the sages are saying that, oh, today our birth have been successful, you know, and because their austerity, their penance, their education, their learning of the Vedas to ultimately to reach the Supreme Lord. That is the aim of our life. Not that they want to glorify themselves, or not that they want to be, written their names in the history. But here, rather, it is being glorified by the Lord. And also, second thing, when Lord takes birth, He does not take birth with His material qualities. Like we see it in this material world, everybody is taking birth. Somebody may be born in the mode of goodness, somebody is born in the mode of passion, somebody is born in the mode of ignorance. But Lord is not touched by these material things. And the third thing, Lord, why we manifest in this material world? Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya tadushkatam dharma samsthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. So to destroy the demons and to protect the religion. So these three purposes which are mentioned, which are glorified in in this verse, and in the next verse, the Lord is also a manifestation of these three qualities: mode of goodness, passion, and ignorance. Lord is always supporting the mode of goodness. Why? Because in the mode of goodness, we can able to transcend ourselves to the spiritual path. In the mode of goodness, you can study. In the mode of goodness, you can see things as they are. In the mode of goodness, you can understand the scriptures. If you are in the mode of goodness, even though you are doing such activity, like you will not understand. For example, if you are in the slow sleepy, or if you are at that time, if you want to read Bhagavad Gita, or if you want to read Bhagavatam, or if you want to chant Hare Krishna mantra, that is also is not, it will not give you perfection. Like sometimes we see that we study Bhagavad Gita, but we don't remember anything. We chant total 16 rounds, but our mind remains as it is without any change. Why? Because the the activity which we are doing is not in these modes, but we are in the modes. Try to understand this point. Chanting Hare Krishna mantra is not in the mode of goodness or mode of passion or mode of ignorance. But the person who is doing, that is the path. You know, like that's matter. Like if you are chanting in the very sleepy or in a dozy, that means you are chanting in the mode of ignorance. What is in the mode of ignorance when you are doing? In always result miserable. If you are doing in the mode of passion, chanting or reading, what is the result of that activity? It is always anxiety, and it is always results are undesirable, like that. So when you are doing some activity which is in the modes, but you have to be understand, we should transcend that modes. How do we transcend that modes? You know, by being awake when you are doing such activity, when you are doing duty worship, when you are doing chanting, when you are hearing class, when you are reading, try to be awake. Then we can able to transcend this mode. Otherwise, when you are doing that mode of ignorance or mode of passion, the result is always, it is more hesitating to the mind, or it is not, when Hare Krishna mantra, when you chant in a pure goodness, how do we mean pure goodness? By listening carefully, by hearing, or by chanting, or by, pronouncing properly, by sitting in proper position, then your mind feels nourished. Otherwise, it is always, it is so disturbed. Oh, when will I finish my rounds? Or when will I complete this 16 rounds? So that is important. So Lord is not touched by these three qualities, but Lord is supported by only mode of goodness to annihilate the demons. That's why he is spotless. The Vedas are also spotless. Veda is a survey, ahameva vedyo, Vedanta krit vedavid eva chaham. What is the source of all the Vedas? To know the Krishna. And, and in the text 20, here, he is the supreme Brahman, and he is a protector of Brahminical community, and for which he will do anything and everything, because the Brahmanas are worshipping. That's why it is called Namo Brahmana Devaya Go Brahmana Hitaya Cha Jagaditaya Krishnaya Govindaya Namo Namaha. In the last verse, it is said that Veda, sages are saying that our birth, our education, our austerity have become perfected today. See, that's why what you are the purpose of what you are doing, if ultimate goal is seen by, is there in front of you, then you should understand that is perfection of our life. When you are there in the Krishna consciousness movement, when you are chanting, when you are hearing, that means your goal of life is perfected as far as human form is concerned, because so many human beings are loitering around this material world without knowing their aim of their life. But if you are here chanting and reading and hearing and doing service, the human form of life is successful. Even though the goal of life is the back to God, that is there, but this is a primary goal. First goal is to get in touch with the holy name. First goal is, get in touch with the holy name, get in touch with the scriptures, get in touch with the deities, get in touch with the devotees, get in touch with the spiritual master. That is the first thing. Out of 64 qualities which Sri Rupa Goswami mentioned, the four things are when associating with the spiritual master. First thing, and saying staying in what do you call holy dham. But the four things. One is um, Bhagavata Shravana and staying in the holy dham and chanting the holy name. And another one is holy places. Sri Murchya Artha, deity worship. The four things are very, 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 very important. So as far as human form of life is concerned, we are successful because we are touched with the holy name. Because there are, so you see, there's so many people loitering around. They have money. They have what you called. They have opulent. So they have sorry. They have opulent. They are famous. They have everything, beauty, name, fame, everything. But still they are unhappy because the lacking is Krishna consciousness. As far as the devotees of Krishna are concerned, we are successful because our birth is successful, our education is successful, our austerity is successful. Don't think that this is just we got as just like by chance. No, in the actually, Srila Prabhupada says after many 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 lifetimes, one becomes in touch with the devotees association. Because it is not just like we might not know what austerities we have performed in our previous lives because we have forgotten. Conditioned soul is always forgetting. But when we understand what austerities that we have performed to get this human form of life and to get the guru and to get the association of the devotees, these are piles of austerities we have performed. Then only we are getting in this chance to hear Bhagavatam, to read Bhagavatam, or to chant the holy name. Because in the Namamrita we see that book, to chant Hare Krishna mantra, one must have performed many many lifetimes austerity. So that's why these sages have realized. That's why when you realized who you are, when you realize what is the relationship between the you and Lord, you will become miserable and you will become and surprise, you will become shy actually. What activities that you have done, and what activities Lord have done, and how much endeavor and how much efforts Lord have done to bring you to the Krishna consciousness. If you realize that point, immediately you will become shy. you know when you, for example, if a person is doing so much every day, you don't even realize. At one point, one day, you realize that somebody have done so many things that which he unclaimed, which he did not declared, and which you don't know. At one point, you came to know. Immediately, what you become? You become shy. Correct? Oh, this person have done so much to me. I have not done anything to him. Immediately, you become shy. Immediately, you what is your immediate response? How can I serve you? Correct? How can I, render service? Because you have done so much that we didn't know. Krishna has done so much thing to us to bring us in Krishna consciousness. If you understand that point, because these sages have understood our birth, our austerity, our education, all have become successful because we have seen you. You yourself is ultimate supreme blessings. These sages are contrast their respect for the Lord, reciprocation of worshipping. So we should understand that, and then we can take it forward. because this is not a, Krishna consciousness is not a cheap thing, or it is not an ordinary thing, which is very, 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 very precious. After many, many, many lifetimes we got this opportunity. It is not that, okay, we got this somehow or the other. If you take it a chance, Srila Prabhupada says, let's finish whatever you have in the same lifetime, because we don't know how much time, how many many more lifetimes we have to take birth again to become in Krishna consciousness devotee. Because spiritual master can see the disciples, endeavor what he have done to become Krishna consciousness. That's why we see this material world, people who are outside, who are loitering around, and without their, knowing their aim of life, they are struggling very, very, very hard for happiness. You ask them, somebody, are you happy? And are you satisfied? Then you can understand what is your position. Because they don't have any other sources for satisfaction. What they will do? Either they go to the places for sense gratification, or they watch a movie, or they drink, or they do some activity for getting their pleasure. That pleasure is only for only short period. After that, they will going to remain the same person. But what we have many things. We can read, we can hear, we can chant, or we can do service, we can do kirtan. These are all the elements of the bhakti which gives a soul natural nourishment for the happiness. For the happiness, people are doing outside a number of things. Still, they are miserable. Yes, of course, they are getting. It's not that they are not getting, but very, 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 very minute and very, very short period. But imagine if you are put in such situation, what you will do? Because we are not satisfied there. That's why we are here. We are trying to do so many activities. 9 process of devotional service: Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Archanam, Vandanam. For what? For satisfaction of the soul. As far as eating, sleeping, mating concerned, everybody are expert. No need to teach, because in 84 lakhs of species we have done that. No need to teach any bird or any animal. Have you seen any animal or any bird going to the university learning how to sleep or how to mate? Because that is naturally, it is there in their system. It is there inbuilt there in the system. But what is there not there is try to seek happiness from the right source. We got the right source of happiness. But whereas people in the material world, they don't have a right source of happiness. For happiness, they are doing so many things. But here, we can do chanting. We will, if you forget about doing, all the bhakti parts. You don't do chanting, you don't do hearing, you don't do reading, you don't do any devotional service. Just eat whatever outside available. You see yourself whether you will be happy or whether you will be satisfied. You eat whatever you want. No. But when you are in Krishna consciousness, these are all the elements, these are all the things that you is nourishing your body, mind and soul. This chanting, this hearing, this reading. That's why we should take it very, very, very seriously. That's why then we achieve the highest perfection, love of Godhead. When you achieve highest perfection, love of Godhead, then there is nothing required for the soul. But only less intelligent people take this opportunity as very careless. That's why we should not take this as opportunity as a that's why we are nourished by the so many elements of bhakti. That's why we are not able to understand this. So here the sages have understood their goal of life, and they have realized who Krishna is, they have realized who they are, and they have realized the ultimate study of the education, austerity. That's why they are able to glorify the Lord. When we come to the stage, we will be also glorifying the Lord, because we have not yet there yet, but we are in the process. When you understand who you are, and you imagine if you lost a son in a market, wandering for many days, you don't have proper clothes, proper food, proper shelter, and suddenly somebody tells you you are the son of a billionaire, immediately your position will be changed. Correct? Similarly, we are in that position, we are loitering for seeking happiness in this material world, try to get something, but this material world is not providing that. So, understand this fact, and sages have glorifying the Supreme Lord, and they also glorify their what is their purpose of their life. Okay, it's 8:30. I will stop now. Any questions, comments, you can see. He will give a microphone.
Um, Sometimes I'm not hearing everything clearly because there's so much reverberation, but you mentioned, and I wanted to clarify this. Were you trying to say that there's no real reason to try and teach certain individuals, correct?
Mhm.
Okay. Um, However, right here, I've seen some miraculous situations. If the person decides, you have to sincerely decide to absorb and apply. Because when you were speaking of sense gratification, it's not always the outside. It can be your prashadam, too much, taking too much, or again, how it's prepared. But sometimes on the outside, they don't realize they're doing anything wrong. They're just dancing or they're going to the movie, and maybe they do a lot of wonderful things, and their souls are good by nature. Um, because many times we can have austerities right here, more so than on the outside. But I know we've been taught that if a person just continuously does something over and over and over and over, that it's kind of a lost cause because they have not decided to truly follow what is proper or what is spiritual. And that is just kind of their mindset. And I've mentioned before how the Catholics, you go and tell the priest, and it's where he can't see who you are, what you've done naughty, and then the next day you do it again. And I go around Tulsi and I'm going to do it again. Every morning I go around Tulsi and I'm going to do it again. So it can be right here, not just on the outside.
Hmm.
So what do you feel about that?
See, ultimately, one should understand the purpose of the life. When you understand the purpose of the life, in a, when you understand purpose of your existence, when you understand purpose of your human form of life, then slowly and steadily everything becomes revealed to oneself. It may not reveal immediately, because we are still in the process, undergoing the purification, getting clarification how we should lead our life. In that process, it may take an individual days, months, a lifetime. So one has to be patiently wait for that, and never give up what is he doing. Have faith and steadiness, and understand. That's why reading is more important. Reading and hearing, these two elements are more important than chanting. Chanting, when our chanting comes only after reading nicely and hearing nicely, then comes behavior nicely. This sense gratification, as for people outside, they are also doing very nicely things, and I appreciate them, but they don't know the purpose of the life. uh, means they might be that the things that they are doing, that the things that they are doing, that will help them to come to Krishna consciousness one day, or something or the other. Someday, if somebody is keeping their house clean and neat, and things they are doing organized, they will get automatically, they will get in touch with the Krishna consciousness movement, get in touch with the devotees, get in touch with the scriptures, get in touch with the holy name, because that will bring them to the association of the devotees, these things. But if they are only stuck with the only to do those things, and they are not coming ultimately some to the Krishna conscious point of Krishna consciousness, who their life is, for them it will take many lifetimes, because the purpose of cleaning the place is not to enjoy ourselves. For example, we are cleaning, we are every day taking bath, and we are doing everything for what is the purpose? To take darshan, to have darshan of the glance of the Lord. Otherwise, we could have get up early in the morning, maybe 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock, whenever we want, or we could have done schedule our timings. Each one get up at your own time. But what is the purpose of behind that? We should see. Purpose is to take attend Mangal Artik. That's the thing. Similarly, outside people are also doing so many great things, but the purpose, if it is they don't know, again it's going to be same cycle of birth and death. They have to eventually come to the platform with the help of the devotees. It's not that they only remain there. Like if you are coming to, you are taking a bus or a taxi. What is the purpose of the taxi or bus? To come to the temple, not to remain in the taxi. Oh, this bus is looking nice. I will stay in the bus. Or this Uber is, looking nice. I will live my entire life in this Uber or taxi. No, that's only medium of transportation from place A to place B. Similarly, our human form of life, body, is meant for going back to home, back to Godhead. So you should understand that. Based on that, as I said, it will take each person some time to reveal himself, to reveal the Krishna consciousness moment, to reveal, and one has to be very patiently waiting for that, so that it will get time. That's my comment. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Vandraj Bhagavatam ki jai. Prabhupada ki jai.